It's the defining image of Bloody Sunday, the priest with the blood-stained handkerchief seeking help for one of the wounded. 17-year-old Jackie Duddy was the first to die. His sister Kay wants the soldier who killed him to admit it.
Please put your hands up and say ye did it, so as we can lay our wee brother to rest. My wee brother, Jackie Duddy's been buried for 50 years, but as up to this minute in time, he hasn't been laid to rest. Because how can you lay somebody to rest without justice still, without justice for what happened that awful day?
13 people were shot dead when members of the Parachute Regiment opened fire in Londonderry. Only one soldier was ever charged, but the case collapsed.
The idea that unarmed people marching for their own civil rights, for justice and for democracy, were gunned down on their own streets by a special forces regiment. I mean, it is beyond belief that happened. It's beyond belief that was allowed to happen, that it was lied about, that it was covered up for decades after decades.
The dead were exonerated by a public inquiry, but the lack of justice and the government's plan to halt historical prosecutions here haunt this community.
I mean, imagine if this happened in London or Liverpool or Manchester or Birmingham. So this is why Bloody Sunday has had this long tail, if you like, that has impacted not just on the families and on the city, but on the troubles, on how that developed. I mean, Bloody Sunday was absolutely the cataclysmic turning point that sent Northern Ireland tumbling into decades of violence.
To mark the 50th anniversary, this city will fall silent at the precise moment the first shot rang out on Bloody Sunday. By the end of that day, 108 live rounds had been fired and 13 innocent people were dead. 5 decades may have passed, but those who did not return from the Civil Rights March are not forgotten here. How often do you think about Jackie?
Every day of my life. Every day of my life. Same to do with the rest of our family. That awful day, we didn't just lose a brother, we lost a generation.
Etched on the walls and on their hearts, the memories keep them going in their quest for justice. David Blevins, Sky News, in Derry.